River has the capability of changing the direction of its flow, and that's because there's currents and tides that come from off of the Atlantic Ocean, mixing into the river, allowing it to do so. The river is a combination of fresh water and salt water, and down here at the south part of it, it divides the two states. New York is to your left, and New Jersey's to your right. So for now, let's just look on the New York side. Notice the cluster of buildings we're going past with the shiny art centerpiece. Why don't you move over here? That way you can see what you want to look. Project, ladies and gentlemen, it's New York's most expensive construction site. You know, it cost $25 billion to create these buildings. It's 13.5 million square feet of commercial, residential, retail, and recreational space. Now, it's called the Hudson Yard Project because it's built over a train yard, and it's not even completed yet. They anticipate the completion year to be 2024. Now, look at that shiny art centerpiece. That is an exhibit that's called the Vessel. The Vessel, you have to make reservations for, but what it is, it's steps, 2,500 of them. And they take you up, they take you down, they take you around, but they call it the Stairway to Nowhere, because all it allows you to do is to look down into the Hudson Yard Project. Notice the tall tan building with the big gray antenna on the top. That is called the Empire State Building. You know, in 1931, the Empire State Building became the tallest building in the world, consisting of 102 floors. Now, if you look to the left of the Empire State Building, you're going to see another popular skyscraper, that shiny silver. That is called the Chrysler Building. You know, like in Chrysler Cars Corporation, see how it goes up to a needle point? Sharper than the Empire State Building. Well, in 1930, the Chrysler Building became the tallest building in the world at 77 floors. But did you know that the Empire State Building and the Chrysler Building was all part of a race to see who could build the tallest skyscraper? And in 1930, when the Chrysler Building was 3/4 of the way completed, they secretly hoisted the top piece. You know, that's the 60-ton stainless steel piece, and it's called the Vortex. And they were hoping that it would give it enough height to beat the Empire State Building, but it didn't. And in 1931, the Empire State Building was crowned the tallest structure in the world at 1,250 feet. Now look at this blue pier with the green netting. This is Chelsea Piers. This is a sports complex pier. If you guys are the athletic type, this is a great place for you guys to go. They have rock climbing, they have gymnastics, they have hockey, they have basketball, racquetball, kayaking, they have horseback riding, they have bowling, and they also have golf, where you have the green netting. That's driving range for golfers. They practice their swings by hitting the golf balls way out into the nets. But also where the green netting is, that's the Pier 59 at Chelsea Piers. That's where the Titanic ship was supposed to dock if it would have made it here from England. But everybody knows what happened to the Titanic, why it never made it. Notice this neighborhood that we're about to go past. This is called Greenwich Village. Greenwich Village is known for the bohemian lifestyles that live and hang out in Greenwich Village. You know, people that surround themselves around the fine arts fair find Greenwich Village most attractive. And I personally love about Greenwich Village, I call it the melting pot of the world, because you will find all walks of life comfortably walking through Greenwich Village. And it's a place where people feel free. You know, it's very ethnic. There's all type of ethnic restaurants over there, ladies and gentlemen. NYU, New York University is in Greenwich Village. Washington Square Park is also in Greenwich Village as well, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm telling you, when you go through the different neighborhoods, you definitely want to pass through Greenwich Village. On days like today, some of the restaurants, they give you a choice. You can either eat inside, or they'll bring the tables and the chairs outside. You can dine on the curbsides of New York City, enjoying the interesting characters that's going to be walking past you. I mean, it's just entertainment while you eat. So Greenwich Village is a great place, very great nightlife. They have live clubs with live music, reggae, jazz, R&B, blues, hip hop, trance, rock and roll, country. You can find all type of music, whatever floats your boat, you can find it in Greenwich Village. Now, look at this building that we're about to pass that's sticking out on the pier. It's a little small building that looks like the letter H, but if you look on the Jersey side, you're going to see the same identical building behind the yellow crane. Well, that's because right now we are going over what is called the Holland Tunnel. You know the Holland Tunnel is a passageway. It allows cars, trucks, and buses to drive under the ground, under the water, from either Manhattan or New Jersey, coming up and out. Now, because we go underground and underwater, what is it that we need? We need oxygen. Well, this little tan building is the ventilation system. You know, it will suck out the dirty carbon monoxide that comes from the exhaust of the vehicles, and they do it through a filter, but then it'll fan in fresh air for us to breathe as we drive under the ground, under the water, through the tunnels. Now look at that building that's about to hide behind the other building house, all twisted up. It looks like the game Jenga, doesn't it? That is called the Django Building. And the reason why the architects twisted every floor up like that is because they wanted the residents of it to all feel like they had their own property. See, when nobody's above you, when nobody's below you, can't nobody disturb you. And that's why they twisted it all up to give them all a sense of privacy. That's the Django Building. It's coming back out. But now notice the buildings with the mirrored windows and the geometrical shapes on the tops. That's the World Financial Center of New York City. Behind these buildings stood the original World Trade Center. The original World Trade Center, ladies and gentlemen, was actually 7 buildings. A lot of people think they were just 2. No, there were 7 buildings altogether. They all got destroyed, of course we know that. But now, we rebuilt. And look at our new World Trade Center Tower. That is called the Freedom Tower, ladies and gentlemen. The Freedom Tower is 1,776 feet. You know, it offers you 104 floors. There's a beautiful observation deck that gives you panoramic views of not just New York, but New Jersey as well. They also have a very beautiful, dedicated memorial devoted to those that lost their life there on September 11th. It's a 40-foot drop of a waterfall, and then you know the victims' names is all etched in marble going around the perimeter of it. 9/11 Museum is over here as well, where you can hear live testimonies of what actually happened on that day. 1776 is not just the height, but it's the year that we claim freedom of independence from Great Britain, and that's why they call it the Freedom Tower. Notice that there's apartments to the left of the World Financial Center buildings and to the right of the World Financial Building. This whole area, this is called Battery Park City. Battery Park City is a combination of commercial and residential buildings. Do you know in the 1960s, before we built the World Trade Center, the Hudson River was much wider than at this end. All of this was water part of the river. But as we had to lay the foundation to build the World Trade Center, we had to dig down deep into the grounds of New York City. New York City is built on a very hard stone that's known as schist. As we were drilling and digging, we kept dumping it into the Hudson River until we created a landfill surface, attached it to Manhattan, leveled off the land, and extended it out. And this is how we were able to build these beautiful, luxurious, expensive apartments known as Battery Park City. But do you know on September 11th when the buildings collapsed? Well, the impact, it shook the grounds of lower Manhattan so hard that when they was afraid maybe stuff, the attachment had gotten damaged. So they had to survey the land to make sure everything was fine, and they evacuated everyone from their apartments. And it took these people over 6 months before they could move back home. Notice the people that's walking alongside of the river. Well, they walk, run, jog, roller skate, rollerblade, ride bicycle, skateboard, push baby strollers, walk dogs. They sit on the benches, lounge on the lawn, sunbathing, fishing. This is called the Heavy Hudson River Walk. Did you know that you can start at the southern tip of the borough of Manhattan and walk way past Times Square and not cross a single street? You would go through the different neighborhoods like Tribeca, Soho, Greenwich Village, Chelsea, Hell's Kitchen, the Upper West Side, Harlem, Washington Heights, and you don't cross any streets, ladies and gentlemen. It's a great way for you guys to get uptown, and you can definitely get some exercise because you can either take a roll or a stroll up the Hudson River, and you don't pay any toll. Ladies and gentlemen, coming up, we have Battery Park. Battery Park is called Battery Park because a battery of cannons was set up on this red brick round building that's behind the white tent. That's an old fort that's called the Castle Pinnock. It was built specifically for the War of 1812. The cannons pointed out to the New York Harbor offering protection. But guess what, ladies and gentlemen? If you want to go to the World Trade Center site because you haven't been there, this is the stop that you will be able to get off. But there's no more boats that you can come back to because once we leave here, the only time we coming back here is to drop off. We're not picking nobody else up or anything. So this is it. This is the last loop that we do, and hop on, hop off will be gone until tomorrow. But anyway, but you guys can always get the subway back and, you know, see other, walk around and take trains and buses and all of that stuff. New York City never shuts down. Anyway, this is Battery Park. For those of you that's getting off the boat, you will be exiting in the front of the boat from this side.